Each night when I go to sleep, I die. And the next morning when I wake up, I am reborn. Mahatma Gandhi. Welcome everyone to the podcast. This is episode 26 of Let's Be Real. And today we are going to get into gratitude time. Wow, I cannot talk. I am grateful for sleep. Without it, I would be a grumpy asshole. To be real, So if you haven't caught today's theme, today we're going to be talking about sleep. Sleep is a noun. It's a condition of body and mind such as that which typically recurs for several hours every night, in which the nervous system is relatively inactive, the eyes closed, the postural muscles relaxed, and consciousness practically suspended. Wow, that's a mouthful just on the definition of sleep. So what is consciousness? It's a noun, the state of being awake and aware of one's surroundings. So that gets shut down when you go to sleep. Dream is a noun, a series of thoughts, images, and sensations occurring in a person's mind during sleep. And recovery is also a noun, a return to normal state of health, mind, or strength. Now, those are a couple words like I like to do. I like to go over a couple words and give you guys some Webster's definitions to really kind of go in depth on some of the words so that we understand when we get into the topic what some of this means. So, as you have figured out, we're talking about sleep today. So why do we sleep? This is something that really intrigued me when I was younger, and I've researched it more and more and have come to find out that sleep is very, very important. So we tend to think of sleep as a time when the mind and body shut down, but this is not the case. Sleep is an active period in which a lot of important processing, restoration, and strengthening occurs. One of the vital roles of sleep is to help us solidify and consolidate our memories. Researchers have also shown that after people sleep, they tend to retain information and perform better on memory tasks. Our bodies all require long periods of sleep in order to restore, rejuvenate, to grow muscles, repair tissue, and synthesize hormones. Now, one of the hormones that I have researched that happens a lot during sleep is the human growth hormone, the HGH. This is one that when you're a child and you're growing is very, very active. And this is why they tend to tell you that kids need to sleep longer than adults, because as we get older, the HGH kind of diminishes a little bit. But now studies are starting to show that we can even use it more and more as an adult too. So unfortunately, a person cannot just accumulate sleep deprivation and then log many hours of sleep to make up for it. Although paying back sleep debt is always a good idea if you're sleep deprived, but it's one of those things where it's not like money in the bank account where it's like you spend, you spend like $100,000 and then you end up making $1 million and you pay back that $100,000 and you make some. Sleep doesn't work that way because we don't have that same situation with time. Time is ever flowing, ever going. You can't get time back like you can get money back. That's why they say time is more important than money. So when you are sleep deprived, you can make up for it a little bit by logging some extra hours of sleep, but you never really get all that back. So a lot of times when I was younger, I was like, I'll sleep when I'm dead, or when I'm older and retired. And now I'm understanding the importance of sleep, and it actually affects your body, it affects how you age, all of these things that sleep does for you, and it's amazing. Like, I didn't even realize how much there was. So how much sleep should we be getting? Well, there'll be a chart down in the descriptions, but I'll go over it real quick. Newborns are 14 to 17 hours. That's a lot of sleep. Infants are 12 to 16. Toddlers are 11 to 14 hours. Preschoolers should be getting 10 to 13 hours. This is about, and then school range is 9 to 12 hours. And then we start to see where it's coming down here. Teens are 8 to 10 hours. And then you get to the adults, which are 7 plus hours. So this is where you range. You can go 7, you can go 9. It really just whatever fits you. And then as you get into the senior years, it's 7 to 9 hours. So 7 seems to be like the minimum at any age that you want to get. Obviously, the newborns and infants are going to get more because that's all they do is sleep, poop, and eat. But as you become an adult, 7 hours is where you want to kind of limit yourself to depriving yourself of sleep. And then after that, you can get a little bit more. But they actually have done studies where if you get too much sleep, it actually can hinder you too. I know this for a fact that I've slept 12, 13 hours and I wake up and I want to go back to sleep and sleep more, and it actually doesn't do anything for you. It can, but the point is like it'll make you lazy and lethargic and not really wanting to get up and do anything. So then sleep helps with many things like weight management, heart health, preventing disease, preventing depression, stronger immune system, all kinds of different health benefits to it. And so this is one thing that I was listening to a podcast the other day about this, and the guy was going on and on about all of the good things about sleep, and I just couldn't believe it. So I was like, I gotta make something like this. I gotta get on and share with my audience that may or may not have heard this yet. But there's so many hormones, there's so many things in our body that rely on sleep, and There's another guy. His name is Dave Asprey. He talks about the benefits of deep sleep, because there are sleep cycles. There's, you have your alpha wave, your beta waves, your theta waves, your delta waves. These are your brain waves as you go into the different ranges of sleep, like REM, deep sleep, light sleep, things like that. Like there's a whole slew of information you can look up on sleep. And theta is very important, to just as much as important as alpha and delta. So as you get, each stage of sleep has its ways of affecting the body. So REM is called rapid eye movement. Deep sleep helps with muscle recovery, with repairing your body. I believe REM is with your memory. I could be wrong, but I believe it's with your memory help and all that. Light sleep is, where we're at most of the time. And that just is your body checking on its systems, helping, doing it's kind of like a computer program running diagnostics. So you get into all of these different components and you start to realize that they're all very important. You can't have one without the other. It's very interesting looking into it. So, the guy Dave Asprey, as I get back to that, he was talking about how important deep sleep is, and that you should be striving for 1 to 2 hours of deep sleep, and that many Americans don't get that because of their melatonin levels. And melatonin helps you go into those deep sleeps. You have two hormones in your body. You have cortisol and you have melatonin. These are responsible for waking up and going to bed, as is your circadian rhythm. So circadian rhythm plays in with these hormones. As the sun starts to go down and you start to see more and more red light, it starts to create melatonin in your body to start making you go to sleep. As we have evolved as a species, we have more and more things that produce blue light, which is what you see in the morning, which helps you wake up, which helps raise your cortisol, which helps you become active and move around. So if you're going to bed and you're on your phone or you're on your computer, you're watching TV, this blue light is causing you to create cortisol, which makes it harder for you to go to sleep. This is where we get insomnia. This is where we get lack of sleep, other things like that. So what you got to do is, what I've been hearing, is power down. Hour, half hour, 2 hours before bed. Shut off all your TVs, shut off your phones. This is something I still struggle with. I'm trying to work on it. I know for me, I try to stay off my phone. I try to limit how much activity I'm doing before bed, because I'm trying to get as much deep sleep as possible. And to get that, you need high levels of melatonin. And usually, the deep sleep comes in your early parts of sleep. I actually have had a fitness tracker tracking my sleep. And I've been noticing that within the first hour to 3 hours is where I get a majority of my deep sleep. After that, it turns into REM and light sleep. So that right there really shows me, hey, this is where I need the most melatonin. So this is why it's so important to shut down all these devices. Like, I'm starting to connect the dots. It's really been eye-opening for me, especially someone who's been like, burning the candles at both ends, staying up for 3 hours, going to work, all this other stuff. it's really shed a light on how important sleep is. So this is why I want to share this information with you guys. This is why I want to talk about it, so that you guys can also look at this and go, wow, maybe I'll start doing this. Maybe I'll start looking into this and see. And I'm telling you, like, you feel 1,000 times better the more deep sleep you get, the more REM and light sleep, the more actual sleep you get. Deep sleep also helps with when you wake up in the morning, how groggy you feel. If you wake up and you're like a zombie walking out, you're like, coffee, caffeine, brains. No, I'm just kidding. But if you're like trying to get that going, that's because you didn't have much deep sleep. So really look into this, really focus on it, and try to improve your sleep. You know, I can't say it enough. It's really important. So anyways, let's get into Q&A reflection time. What I like to do at the end, kind of give you guys a little bit of food for thought, something to think about as you go into your day, or maybe you're going to sleep, or wherever you're at right now. Let's get to the first question. How many hours of sleep do you get a night? How many hours? You know, think about it. Do you get 5? Do you get 6? Do you get 9? How do you feel when you get enough sleep versus not enough sleep? What are the differences? Do you feel, I know I feel like a grumpy asshole when I don't get enough sleep. And then when I do get enough sleep, I feel a lot better. I feel like I can go outside and run a mile. It's that big of a day and night difference. And then last but not least, do you feel you should focus on your sleep more? Are you somebody who doesn't really care that much about it and think you should focus on it more? Or maybe you are somebody who focuses on it a lot. And maybe you can find little additions to help you get a little bit more deep sleep, maybe get a little bit more of an edge in this that you already have. So that's what I got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this gave you something. I hope you guys understand how important I'm trying to make sleep to be, because it really is. But most importantly, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and God bless.